Hi everyone, it's Cindy with the Resale Remedy. Today we're going to talk about picking and praying. No, we're not going to go to church, or no, we're not going to talk about the Bible or anything like that. We're going to talk about when we go out and we're thrifting and picking and trying to find objects or items that we can resell. Sometimes we get really excited over something we found, especially at the bins. And if you guys are new out there and you don't know what the bins are, at the Goodwill stores they have these gigantic bins, and they put a bunch of items in there, and there's a whole bunch of people around you trying to get these same items that you're trying to find, the good stuff. And sometimes, you pick stuff, you put it in your pile, and without going through it and looking at it really, really good, because sometimes you don't have time, you're pressed for time. You get home, you find out there's a stain on your item, or something's broken on your item, something's missing on your item, a button's gone, zipper's broke, just common, simple things like that. So that's what I'm calling picking and praying, because we pick the stuff and we pray that it's nothing wrong with it, and we also pray that it sells. So what I want to do is just talk a little bit about what we're getting and how to fix these issues that we may have when we pick something and it's not quite right. Okay, excuse me, cha-ching. All right, we pick something and it's just not quite right. Take, for example, we get a shirt, a blouse, and I've done this before. I've gone to Goodwill and I've got this really cute blouse, and I thought it was just, oh yeah, this is just nice, it's by somebody well-known, and it's a good blouse. I can make about $15 on this blouse. So you get it home, and you're getting it all set up for photos and everything, because the item looks clean. All of a sudden, you go to shoot the photo, and you look down, and you're like, oh no, there's a button missing. So what to do? So one of the things that I like to do is to look at the item and see if some of the buttons are adjustable to where maybe I can move one from the bottom to the top if that's where it's missing. If it is at the bottom, then just disclose it. Disclose that there's a button missing. You may not make that $15, but you may make $12 on it. Who knows? But if it's good, well-made item, a lot of folks won't mind if there's a button missing. And speaking of buttons, always look inside of the clothing. A lot of the nicer stuff does have spare buttons attached to the inside of the clothing. So do that as well. Now, if you get home and you've got a board game that's missing some of the pieces after you get it home and you count it and everything like that, break it up, piece it apart, and sell it by the piece. That's the best way to fix an item like that. Now, if you get home and you've got a vase and you're starting to take pictures again, and you look and that vase has a small hairline crack in it, doesn't affect the vase, it doesn't affect the water that may go into the vase, but there is a little crack in it. Take pictures of that crack really, really good, and disclose all of that. Make sure you disclose everything about that crack in there. And another thing, guys, when you're listing clothing, especially clothing, I'm going to say especially clothing, make sure that you put measurements in your description. You don't have to put it in the title, of course, just the size. I would put the size in the title, of course, and as many good words about that item as you can. But in the description, make sure you put those measurements in there. A lot of times we'll get more and more returns for clothing if we do not disclose the measurements. I know a lot of times some of the folks, the resellers out there, will wait until the customer actually emails them or message them to let them know that they're interested in their item, but they want to know what the measurements are. Some folks just don't like doing that extra step. So go ahead and save time, because nowadays, guys, we are all about time-saving things. We will save time no matter what. So go ahead and disclose the measurements. It's not going to take you too much longer. Get you a tape measure. Let me see where I find mine. Where's my tape measure? Okay, it's gone. All right, so just get you a tape measure, whether it's a little dollar store kind or whether it's a yardstick kind. Just measure those clothing items and put those measurements in there. Now, I am really OCD when it comes to measuring. I measure everything. I will say I'm going to, okay, this for example, I got this item at Walmart on a clearance. They're clearancing out everything because school's starting. So I found this. This is a bra. Cute, huh? Tags, everything. And I picked this up at Walmart for $1, okay? Now, this is not one of the, well, yes it is. It's maiden form. Okay, well, this is a maiden form bra, and even though it's got the cup size and everything on it, everything's measured, I will actually measure it again and, you know, different areas and let people know, because I am like really OCD about stuff. I'm sorry, but I am. And, well, I'm not sorry, because it's a good thing. It's a really good thing. People want to know how big something is. If you've got something that, say, this is my cell phone. Say you're selling your cell phone, right? And people are not sure. You put in there, is this by this, you know, but how thick is it? Okay, well, it's this thick. Well, how thick is that? Okay, so you get the point. So put those measurements in there and you know, let everybody know about that. But if we're out thrifting and we're in a hurry and we're buying stuff, especially used items, not so worried about the new stuff, guys, but especially the used items, used clothing, used shoes, used things like that. If you don't have time to really, really inspect it at the facility at where you're purchasing it from, then go ahead and take it home and you start looking through it and you do find some flaws. Just acknowledge those flaws. Don't try to hide anything from your customers. Acknowledge those flaws to the folks, okay? And you'd be surprised. I have sold stuffed animals to where just recently I sold an ET. I sold an ET, and he was supposed to be holding the little ET thing in his hand. I forget what it was. He was supposed to be holding something. Well, one of my children had taken that apart, and so all ET had, his hands were in good condition, but all he had left was little strings that was supposed to attach to, I think it was a heart, the little heart that was there. It's sold. I had a Spider-Man that had a tore up hand. It's sold. I had a shirt that had a stain on it, disclosed everything. I didn't try to wash it out myself, because the shirt was actually clean. I didn't want to press the fact, so it was a very minor stain, so I went ahead and disclosed the stain, put a quarter there to show how big the stain was, and I sold the item. So maybe you'll have to lower it 50 cents to $1 or whatever because of the stain, because of the missing button, or because you do look at it and it does have a small tear in a hem or something like that. Unless you're a seamstress and you can sew these things up, go ahead and list it, disclose it, and sell it. That's the best way to do it. But that's it, guys. Just want to talk about picking and praying. And I hope you guys don't do a lot of praying with your picks, but I do hope you do a lot of picks and it sells. But you guys take care. I'll be up here tomorrow. I'm going to talk about a few different things and show you some things that I had that sold. But this is short. This is sweet. And y'all have a happy Monday and happy sales. This is Cindy with the Resale Remedy.